Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit AITA and it's by user PuzzleHeadedBet8114. Am I the a-hole for telling my daughter to get over what happened in the past? I am new on Reddit, so for some background and context, I, 54 female, have one daughter, Ella, 28 female, with my ex, Dylan, 57 male. Dylan and I amicably divorced when Ella was 4 years old. A few years later, I married my now husband Jack, 55 male. He was a single dad of 2 kids, Jason, 25 male, and Sophie, 27 female. Jack and I also have a daughter, Bella, 17 female. This is about Sophie and Ella. I always thought since they were closer in age, they would get along really well. And I was right. They were like best friends and we were really happy in our blended family. When Ella was in college, she met this guy, Brian, 30 male, at a cafe where she worked. They started dating. I was happy for Ella. Brian proposed to Ella in front of our whole family and it was very romantic. Everything was fine until one day Ella came to our house screaming at Sophie. She claimed that Sophie had been sleeping with Brian. I told her she must be joking. Sophie would never do that to her. There was a lot of screaming until Sophie finally said that she and Brian are in love. This caused more commotion. We did have an extremely hard conversation with Sophie. She showed her remorse and was very guilty. We tried to talk to Ella that Sophie was sad and maybe she should forgive her. But Ella was having none of it. She went on to more screaming and was bashing all of us that we were abandoning her and picking Sophie. That is not the case. I tried to make it as peaceful as possible, but Ella didn't want that. When Ella and Brian broke up, he started dating Sophie. They got engaged within a year. Sophie wanted Ella to be her bridesmaid, but Ella just said, "Over my dead body." I thought it was really cruel of her to say that, and she is being petty by holding on to the past anger. Needless to say, she didn't come to the wedding. Rather, she left the city to live with her father. She didn't contact us much except for Bella. I thought she might need some time to cool off, but I was hurt that she kept us out of her life. We only got some insights from Bella and Jason. She only sends me cards on my birthday, but hardly ever speaks to me. I think it is unfair. Anyway, one day she came to our place. Sophie and Brian were also there. She gave us an invitation card to her wedding with someone named Ray. I don't know much about him. She didn't even include us in the wedding party. Plus, the venue was a 4-hour drive and the hotels in that area are expensive. We did agree to go, but at the last moment, Jack got sick and I had to cancel it. When I told her the reason I cannot come to her wedding, she told me not to bother. She made the right choice by not including me in her wedding. She knew I was a bad mom. It really bothered me. I always wanted to be by her side, but the place and time she was getting married at were not compatible for us. That was 2 years ago, and she never contacted us again. Then, a few weeks ago, my daughter Bella showed me a post on Instagram that Ella was pregnant. She posed with her stepmother with a caption like, "She will be a good grandmother." I was furious. How can she forget her whole family here? So, I called her from Bella's phone and wanted an explanation. She replied that since I never bothered to be at her wedding, I don't deserve to be in her kid's life. She said it is not just her wedding. She claims I have never been supportive of her, that I do not care about her. She went on to blabbing that she never felt like she had my support, even when she got cheated on and I chose my stepdaughter over her. I told her it was not fair to her to hold that against me till now because it was 6 years ago. She has moved on and Sophie has moved on as well. She is being petty by holding on to something that happened years ago. So, did I do anything wrong? Well, OP, I'm just gonna say 2 things. First of all, if you did anything wrong, yeah, you did everything wrong. And second, you definitely are new to Reddit if you thought that writing your post would get anybody to back you up. You think your daughter is being unfair with you because you didn't support her, you didn't help her, you didn't stand by her side when the person she was going to get married to cheated on her with her stepsister, and you not only stood by her stepsister's side, but you also advocated for your daughter to forgive the cheating. And now you're claiming that your daughter is petty for holding on to something that happened years ago? Can you blame her? Because I can't. I would have done the same, if not even harder. I would have gone no contact right that moment that you abandoned me like that. Not even a birthday card would you have gotten. And I would suggest to go frame those because you're not getting any more of those, I think. So yeah, OP, in short, you are most definitely the a-hole in this situation, and as for Sophie and Brian, they suck. Now, as a side note, this whole story seemed very much like another story that I read in January of 2022. I'll leave the link in the description. And I thought, hey, maybe this is that story but told from the mom's perspective because it was a very similar situation. But unfortunately, time and family didn't match, so they're two different stories. Anyways, what do you guys think about it? Let me know what your judgment is in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they had to say. Zesty Close Sky 1921 says, yes, you did everything wrong, but at least you're consistent. But I don't think you need to worry about Ella because there's nothing you can do or are willing to do to fix your relationship with her. So focus on your lovely stepdaughter and stepson because that's your family now. Just in case you are wondering though, I have a scenario for you. If it had been reversed and it was Ella who lied and slept with Sophie's boyfriend, let's call him Brian, but she was very sad, would you have told Sophie to suck it up and forgive her? And would she have? Not sure that's even valid since someone who sleeps with her sister's boyfriend and lies about it is capable of feeling hurt or betrayal, but it's how you view and value each of them here that I'm wondering. IceQueen98547 says, get an effing grip, lady. You have lost your daughter due to your own chain of actions or inactions. Unless you do some seriously genuine, holy F, I made a bunch of crappy decisions and good God I'm sorry actions and words, you will never have a chance at redemption. Your stepdaughter is in the wrong. You are in the wrong. Either listen to the comments and make a change or live with the consequences of your selfish behavior. 4 hours is not that far to drive to save a relationship. Jeez, F, you suck. DV Kuno says, you're the a-hole big time. At every turn, you put Ella down. You don't get to decide that Ella should forgive Sophie and Brian. You don't get to decide to not go to Ella's wedding and still expect things to be okay. You don't get to expect a relationship with Ella's child or any future children she has when all you've ever done is tear her down. Ella had an entire future planned out at one point and it all blew up in her face because her ex and stepsister betrayed her. And you couldn't even fight it in yourself to comfort her then? Just expected her to forgive Sophie so you could continue playing happy family. If I was Ella, I also would have gone no contact with you. Additional information from OP's comments. I didn't forgive Sophie at all. We did tell her that what she did was wrong. She was begging Ella for forgiveness. And also, Sophie is my stepdaughter. Do you all really think it would be wise to abandon her just for one mistake? And I know Ella was hurt. I acknowledge that. But I didn't take Sophie's side. I just wanted both of my daughters to have a common ground. What I am trying to say is, isn't it time for her to move on? She cannot hold a grudge against us her entire life. Sophie is happy with Brian, and I am sure Ella is happy with Ray. It worked out for her, so why is it fair for her to hold a grudge against us? Also, I didn't abandon Ella. She willingly distanced herself from us. She cut off contact with us. And no, I did not choose my stepdaughter over her. I love both of them equally. If I was in Ella's place, I would have at least attended Sophie's wedding and not leave the town without any short notice. I tried my best, but she was the one who is still cold towards me. And I was devastated because I couldn't go to her wedding. Jack was sick. He couldn't walk properly because he became weak. I would have gone if I could. I sent a gift and told her we will make it up to her. It's not like I intentionally didn't go. OP's edit. Look, I did not abandon Ella. I tried to be there for her. When she and Brian broke up, I went to her place to support her almost every day. I just think it is silly to hold on to something that happened years ago. I get that she didn't want to be a bridesmaid, but she could have attended the wedding. I never pressured her. Yes, I was disappointed, but if she politely declined, I would have never thought it was cruel. And I tried my best to attend her wedding. We booked the hotel too, but Jack got really sick. We did apologize and promised to make it up to her in some ways, but she rejected it. Okay, well, the community was pretty clear that they think OP is the a-hole, and apparently OP does not agree with anybody and keeps trying to justify what she did in her comments and in her edits. So it's now time to move on to the update to see what kind of circus awaits us there, but of course before that, here's another one of my playlists for you to enjoy after this video. Now, let's move on to that update. Hi guys, this is Bella, 17 female, the half-sister of Ella. So basically, I am writing this update to clear things out. You see, this whole argument with Ella being pregnant happened 2 months ago. There have been fights and crying on my mom's part. I tried my best to explain to her that what she did was over the line and she cannot expect Ella to be okay with it after she, my mom, hurt her. My mom still insists Ella is being unfair. She thinks every other person would agree with her, lol. So I gave her just that. I have been on Reddit for about 3 years. I have seen how people tear apart people like my mom. So I told her that she should post anonymously on Reddit about it. I did help her in the steps to make sure she includes everything, but she still left out some parts. I challenged her that nobody thinks she is right after the crap she pulled. It was hilarious to see my mom reacting to the comments. She genuinely thought people would be on her side. She read the comments for 3 hours. You guys even PM'd her, and those were the cherry on top. Seeing how people actually see her, she literally cried her eyes out. She is still in denial and keeps saying, "They don't know anything." Well, she had a breakdown of how cruel some comments and PMs were. My dad came home and saw my mom crying and scolded me for airing out our dirty laundry. My mom demanded that I delete the post. Instead, I deleted the Reddit app from her phone. But now I am writing this for you guys. I must say, Reddit doesn't disappoint. I have been reading all the comments. They are entertaining. My mom refuses to look at them. She is a lost cause. But I am here to clear things out a bit. I am the observer of my family, so I have observed a lot of things. First of all, my mom didn't cheat with my dad as far as I know, since some of you were suggesting. The divorce with Ella's dad was amicable, but that's what I heard. My mom has this weird obsession with having twins. She always wanted twin girls, but that never happened. Since Sophie and Ella are almost the same age, my mom pretended that they are twins. I think she created this whole fantasy in her mind that Ella and Sophie will do anything together and have a matching life. And though Ella and Sophie never had bad blood, they were far from being twins. They are like normal people, but my mom still wanted the twin lifestyle for them. Also, just like you guys pointed out, mom is the type of person who is family comes first. She wanted Ella to forgive everything and be okay with Brian and Sophie so that she, my mom, can show it off to people that in our family we always forgive and forget no matter how crappy the other person is. And Ella was ruining that Disney musical fantasy for my mom. My dad only cared about his bio daughters, though he never was mean to Ella and always loved her. Blood comes first to him as well. Jason pretty much doesn't give a crap. He and Sophie were not that close, neither was Ella and him. And I am close with Ella. The only reason I showed my mom that Instagram post is so that I can show her what Ella is doing. She always asks me about her life and I thought this would bring some form of accountability on her part. But no, as you can see, I was wrong and I take full responsibility for it. Second thing, mom and dad did berate Sophie about her affair with Brian. Sophie started the waterworks saying she will do anything to gain forgiveness from Ella. Sophie even said she will cut all contact with Brian, but Ella was having none of it. I think my parents got manipulated by the fake waterworks of Sophie. That's why they kept pushing for forgiveness from Ella. And you guys asked what happened to Jack, my dad. Well, he fell down the stairs and hurt his back. I wasn't there because I was a bridesmaid at Ella's wedding, so I spent the whole week there in her town. Sophie and Brian were not invited. Jason was out of town too, but I still think if mom made an effort, she could have easily made it to the wedding. She did try to say sorry and offered to pay for their honeymoon, but I don't think that is enough. I mean, it was her daughter for God's sake. Lastly, my mom lied. Sophie and Brian are not a happy couple, lol. They look like they are on the brink of divorce. My mom still has no idea that Brian cheated on Sophie with a stripper at his bachelor party. Sophie forgave him because it was his bachelor party, so it doesn't count. I knew that she also cheated on him at her bachelor party too. I don't have the evidence, but I just know. Also, a month ago, Sophie decided that she would try for a baby. I am willing to bet that Brian will skip town when that happens, or he might not be the father, but we shall see. Finally, I am sorry for dragging you guys into my family drama. I just wanted Mom to see that she is wrong. She even tried to save her ass by replying, but you guys gave her a new one. I was a little skeptical about posting here because I know a lot of you guys would think this is fake and not give proper replies, and sorry if you felt deceived that someone else coerced OP to make a post. So I am being clear once and for all. The first post was made by my mom. This update is being written by me, Bella, the youngest sibling. Extended from OP's comments. The fact that Sophie and Brian's marriage lasted 5 years is astonishing, but it is now hanging by a thread. If anything, Sophie did Ella a favor. I always thought that guy was a bluff. Also, Ella has blocked my mom, Sophie, Brian, and Dad. Her only communication is with me and Jason. So I don't know if there will be more drama, but even if she doesn't talk to Mom, I know she cares for her. I lied to Mom that she also blocked me after the fiasco. And besides, I will be 18 in 3 months and I am planning to move out because I am applying to college in a different city. And about the rest of my family, well, Jason lives in his own world, just occasional hi and hello. Like I said, they are not very close. Ella and I also talked a lot. I was sad when she left. I was the last person she talked to before she left town. Sophie tried once or twice to reach out, but not much. And Ray is a little older than Ella. He is 34, but a nice guy in my opinion. Her dad says she picked right this time. I've only met Ray a handful of times, but the way he interacts with Ella says he truly loves her and cares for her. Well, it sucks that your mom wasn't able to take the learning, but hopefully someday she will. Hopefully she'll come out of that denial and understand that what she did was wrong, that she should have stood by her daughter. Now, just one side comment that I did find it a little bit off-putting that you were too happy about your mom having a mental breakdown after Reddit tore her a new one. Yes, what she did is absolutely wrong, but being happy about her breakdown, I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but in the grand scheme of things, it is irrelevant. Anyways, here's wishing Ella and Ray the best in the future, and thank you so much, OP, for sharing your story. Take care. Now, let's finish this video with a mood booster post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance, and it's by user Schmarty Party. Not allowed to remove my neck brace? Okay. Years ago, I was in a bad car accident. An older man turned left in front of me at an intersection and T-boned me. Ambulances were called and I was put on a backboard with a neck brace and brought to the hospital where I was deposited on the gurney in a hallway as there were no rooms available at that time. I lie there for quite a while waiting to be seen. My injuries weren't bad, basically just got banged around and bruised up, so I was okay with the waiting, but I was in pain and laying on my back was very uncomfortable. I didn't think there was anything wrong with my neck. The only pain I felt was due to the damn neck brace digging into the bottom of my skull. I really wanted to lay in a different position, not only to alleviate some of the pain in the rest of my body, hopefully, but also because I was parked right under a light that was blaring in my eyes the whole time. So I started taking off my neck brace. A nurse spotted me doing this and ran over very upset with me and told me that I had to keep the neck brace on. I tried telling her my neck was fine, but she was adamant that I not remove the brace until the doctor had examined me. Which I get. I'm guessing at the very least it goes very much against protocol, and at the very worst I would have been a huge liability if I took the brace off and there was something wrong. Plus, I didn't want to piss off the nurse or be one of those patients, so I begrudgingly complied even though I thought it was overkill. I tried to reposition myself as best I could to the least painful position, but not very successfully, unfortunately. However, the damn light blaring directly down was driving me crazy, even when I closed my eyes. Finally, out of frustration, I took the blanket that was over me and pulled it more and threw it over my head. Finally, no more light in my eyes. Bliss! I just lay there trying to block the pain and daydream to pass the time, wondering how long I would be there. Not too long after, I hear what sounds like a big commotion and someone saying something about a dead person in the hallway. I was like, oh my god, that's freaky! I got that there were no rooms available, but to leave a dead body just lying out for everyone to see? I thought that was uber creepy. Suddenly, the same nurse that gave me crap about the neck brace pulls the blanket off my head, scaring the crap out of me, and she starts yelling at me that I'm not allowed to put the blanket over my head, and what the hell was I doing? It was then that I realized the dead body that they were talking about was me. I said, "Oh crap, I am so sorry. I just wanted the light out of my eyes and I can't move my head with the neck damn brace on." To say the nurse was not impressed would be an understatement, but she did find a room to move me and positioned me not under any light, which I thanked her for very much. She just gave me a Shirley look and walked away. Sorry, lol. Well, that's a first. I've seen malicious compliance blend in with some petty revenge, but this was a fantastic malicious compliance blend in with some today I effed up. Thank you so much for sharing, OP. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out, so here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later, and also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.